Hello. This week's training, I'm going to do slightly differently. I'm going to do like this rather than a screen record. I will go over onto a screen record after this, but I need the whiteboard to make sure that I can explain this properly without getting fiddly on Canva and stuff like that. 'Cause it's going to be easier for me to explain and draw this out as we go. So in this one, I'm going to talk to you about rep ranges, which if you've seen some of my content already, I kind of explained it, but because it's Instagram and it's fucking reels, I have to grab attention really quickly. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into it for you guys doing Accelerator. Um, Rep ranges, how to gauge performance, what we're trying to be looking for, and why your program is set out the way it is. Because it's not just something that I've thrown together and just thought, you know what, let's just do this amount of sets and reps for the fun of it. It's designed with a purpose. So because I had a few questions about like changing it and doing more, doing less. This is what it is. Obviously, if you want it to be a little bit more specific and in detail, then that's obviously comes with one-to-one because everything's more personalized. This is a group-based thing. So with rep ranges, everyone thinks that there is like a magic number and they think, oh, okay, like do I need to be doing heavy with low reps with heavy weight, or do I need to be doing high reps with less weight? What's going to build more muscle? Am I going to get more toned doing it this way? Am I going to get leaner doing it one way or the other? The answer is no, essentially. And the rep range is just a gauge of strength. There's no magic number to it. Like there's no magic between 8 and 12 or 6 and 8 or 5 and 8 or 10 and 15. So it's really just a gauge of strength, and there are rep ranges that are going to be different based on the exercise. It's going to be different based on the type of movement. So like you tend to go with like potentially slightly lower rep ranges with a bigger compound movement because there's multi-joint movement on those ones. Things like bicep curls, leg extensions, lat raises, you might opt for a slightly higher rep range because it's a single joint movement and then it puts less stress on the joints. Everyone's going to be different. Everyone has different preferences. Everyone enjoys different things. And that is something that we kind of dive a little bit more deeper into when we go into a one-to-one phase as well. There might be phases where we stagger it up. Again, if you're someone that's slightly new, you might want to be going slightly higher rep ranges to learn the movement. Someone that's more experienced might be confident in the movements. They haven't got to learn the movements. So it essentially means that they can lift heavier more confidently and safely. So it really doesn't matter. What matters is the effort level that you put in and the closeness to failure. So when you're training, the way that you build muscle, the way that you get stronger, when you're going through a dieting phase, the way you at least maintain muscle is getting close to muscular failure. You want to make sure that when you are training, if you don't hit failure, you want to be within at least 5 reps. Because they're going to be your most effective reps. They're going to be the ones that force an adaptation. They're going to be the ones that then allow and force an adaptation. So that's where you'll end up building muscle. What a lot of people do is they see a rep range and they go, okay, I'll stop at the top number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this down with a typical rep range. And I hate this rep range because everyone uses it and it's absolutely not magical. But let's say we've got an 8 to 12 rep range. This could be a 6 to 10 rep range. Like for me personally, I train 2 heavy sets and go to failure at a lower rep range, sitting somewhere between 6 and 10. Because 1, I like lifting heavy. 2, I enjoy it. 3, I can recover from it. And 4, it means that I don't have to spend fucking ages in the gym because I'm doing 4 or 5 sets of stuff. Obviously, at the start of the workout, you're going to want to be doing a few warm-up sets as well. And I'm hoping that now that I'm watching this back, this isn't mirrored. This is actually going to be properly done. I should have probably tested this actually to see if it actually comes out right. But I hope it comes out all right because otherwise this is going to be a load of waffle. So we've got 8 to 12 rep range here. Honestly, if I have to record this again, I'm going to be really upset. You want to pick a weight that sits somewhere between, that you hit failure between 8 and 12. Now, obviously, if you're fairly new to this and in your first couple of weeks, you're learning a new movement, you're probably not going to know what weight you need to pick. So pick any weight that you think you can get 8 to 12 reps in and with. Most people undershoot this quite a bit. Most people are stronger than they actually think they are. So what you do is you do your set, and you go, okay, cool. You do as many as you can to the point where you can't do any more. And what that will do is you're going to fall somewhere within 3 places. You're going to either fall slightly short of that rep range, slightly short of 8. You're going to fall either more than 12, or you're going to sit somewhere in between. Now, if you sit somewhere in between, you hit failure. Let's take a squat, for example. Say you're doing a 40 kilo squat. Put 40 kilo on the bar. Actually, squat's probably not a good example because you might not go to failure on this. Let's say with a chest press machine. Chest press machine, you pick a weight, you go, okay, cool. I've hit 10 reps. You've hit 10. So you're in between that rep range, which is great. That means perfect, all good. If you've picked a weight and you hit less than 8, so let's say you hit 5, 6, 7, then chances are it's too heavy. It is too heavy because you've hit failure, you've not hit your rep range. So you probably just want to lighten it by 2.5 kilos. If you've got 6 or 7, you can drop it by a little bit. Obviously, if you're getting 3, you need to drop it more than that. So you've fallen a little bit short of your rep range. Now, if you've got more than 12, or you get to 12 quite easily and you get more than 12, then chances are you just need to increase it by 2.5 kg. So if you're getting 13, 14, 15 reps, bump it up by 2.5 kg. If you're getting more than that, quite comfortably, bump it up a little bit more. Now, here's the thing. When you do this and you're going through your sets, if you get close to the top end of the rep range and you get to the top end of the rep range here, don't fucking stop at 12. Do more than 12. Like, keep going until you can't do any more. Because if you get, let's say you wanted to hit muscular failure and you did as many as you could and you get 20 reps, you're 8 reps short of failure, which means it's not doing nothing. It's just, you're just moving weight and you're just getting blood into the muscle and you're not actively getting stronger. So you keep going until you can't do any more, because then that'll give you a gauge about, okay, cool, I need to make sure that I'm increasing this weight. Now, that could be any rep range. That could be 6 to 8. It could be 6 to 10. It could be 10 to 12. It could be 10 to 15. It could be 12 to 15. As long as you're sitting somewhere between 5 reps and 30 reps and you're hitting failure in between those, you are going to be absolutely fine. You're hitting failure, you're going to build muscle. But the important thing is that you put effort in and you get close to muscular failure. Muscular failure is a skill. I understand that. It's hard to get to. And even myself, I don't train to failure sometimes. I record pretty much all of my sets. And when I watch them back, which is the benefit of recording your sets, when I watch them back, I look at the reps and they don't slow down. They don't look like a bit of a fight towards the end. Even though in my head at the time, it feels like it is. If my reps aren't slowing down and they're the same, the first rep is the same tempo as the 8th rep, then I know that I'm not close to failure. Your brain is just signaling to you, this is tough. I need to recruit more muscle fibers in order to lift this weight and force that adaptation, which is how you end up building muscle. And don't get me wrong, women, you are not going to look like the fucking Hulk in 8 weeks. Believe me, I'm still trying and I'm failing miserably at it. And I've been trying for about 12 years now. So you're going to be fine. Now, let's take that again. And let's say that you're doing, let's say 40 kilo chest press again. 40, 40, 40. Let's say you have 3 sets. So if you're doing 40 kilos and you've got an 8 to 12 rep range, if your sets look like this, 12, 12, 12, I'm going to look at that and go, you're not trying hard enough. You're either leaving loads of reps in the tank or this weight isn't heavy enough. Now, what we should see is something more along the lines of, what's that? Let's say your first set, yeah, you get 12 reps and that is actual failure, fine. The next set might be 10 reps and then the next set after that would be 9 reps. Then I would look at that and go, okay, I can tell that this person's hit failure because as they've gone through their sets, their performance has gone down and fatigue has gone up. And I know that because as you go through your sets, you are going to have more fatigue built. So if your sets are looking like that, then we know we're doing the right thing. if you're getting a set and your first set might look like, let's say you picked 40 kilos and you did 8 to 12, and your first set you did 15 reps. I would then bump this up to 42.5-ish, 45 if you want, whatever. If then on that set you got 9 reps, cool, perfect. I would still do that again. And if you get 42.5 and you get 6 reps, fine. Absolutely fine that you haven't hit this rep range. I would rather see you give it a go at trying to get this and go a little bit heavier and hit failure at 6 than you stay safe at 40 and go and stop at 12. I would much rather see that. You're still going to be building muscle. You are then going to get stronger from that, because the next week you're going to look at that and go, okay, cool. I did 9, then I did 6. So next week I'm probably going to do 10 if I do it fresh, and then I'm going to probably do maybe 9 again, and then I'm probably going to get 8, because you're exposing yourself to that stimulus in order to force that adaptation in order to get stronger. For you to get stronger, you have to lift more weight. And you know, that's just, I mean, it's just science basically. So that's what you need to be doing. Now with your programming, let me share my screen and show you why this is built out the way it's designed to. So hopefully, again, you can see me, but you can definitely see my screen. Now, this is based on the 4 times per week. This is what I do. I do 4 times a week, 2 upper, 2 lower. And I do this because, one, I like it. It gives me the flexibility of moving my days around. If I miss a day, it's fine. It's not a problem. I can have a little mooch around. I can go and play golf if I want to. Now, ignore the exercises. The exercises aren't relevant here. It doesn't matter. Now, there's a reason why we've got 2 sets on everything. And as you can see, if you're on the 3 days per week, then here, 3 times full body, you can see it starts at 3 sets, and then it goes 3 sets, and then 2 sets, and 2 sets, and 2 sets, and 2 sets. So we're just going to stick with the 4 times per week. If you're on 5 times per week, absolutely, you have 2 sets. Now, the reason that you've got 2 sets is because I know that if you have 3 sets, you are going to leave reps in the tank on the first 2 sets, because you're going to think, I've got a 3rd set coming up here and I need to make sure I hit my rep range. So the reason that I go 2 sets is because you've got 2 bites at the cherry and you have to fucking go for it in those sets. Now, as we go down through the weeks, the first 2 weeks are the same. The second 2 weeks, the rep ranges drop. So the calories drop and the rep ranges drop alongside it. Now, the reason for that, you can see that week 5 and 6, again, it's pretty much the same, but then I might drop that to 6 to 8. And then the last 2 weeks, 5 to 8. And again, rep ranges down here on the isolation stuff drops again. The reason for that is as we drop the calories down, your capacity to recover drops as well. Remember, you're in an energy deficit. So you're already expending more energy than you're consuming. So you're going to be tired, you're going to be fatigued. When you are in a lower number and you're in a deficit, you want to make sure that you're still lifting heavy to make sure that you don't lose muscle. So when you still lift heavy, you're still signaling to your brain, I need to force an adaptation to build muscle. And you're at least going to maintain that way. So if I was to then give you 3 sets of everything, you're then just not going to recover in between sessions. You're going to be absolutely knackered because you're doing so much volume that you just can't recover from it. And then when you can't recover from it, then you're going to skip sessions, and then you're going to go, you know what, I can't stick to this because I feel like absolute shit. Also, doing 2 sets, like I said, you get 2 bites of the cherry, you'd put more effort into them 2 sets than you would 3, and you're going to be in the gym less time, which, you know, no one wants to be in the gym for fucking hours. I don't, and I love training. So the reason that it's staggered down is to allow for recovery. That it's designed this way for a reason. Now, when you do 2 sets, yeah, you might have to do 1 or 2 warm-up sets in the lead up to your top set, but then 2 build-up sets and 2 warm-up sets shouldn't take any performance away from your top sets. So, like I said, the reason that it comes down is to allow us to still lift heavy, still try and get stronger, and also it doesn't compromise our recovery. It's really important that we are able to recover from this, because When we reverse diet you out of this and we increase the food and increase the calories, then we can increase the volume. Another one on volume, real quick, whilst I'm here. So that's why that's laid out like that. Another reason, and again, if you're training a lot more frequently, there's a reason why the volume is spread across the week. So let's say you're doing a chest movement and you're doing any fucking chest exercise. You're training your chest. If you were doing 5 days a week and you done a bro split, which was chest, back, legs, shoulders, arms, if you did chest on one day and you did 20 sets in that one day, the first 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. These first 10, performance might be okay. They'll be pretty good. But then after that, these next 10 would be absolute dog shit because you're fatigued from these 10. So if you did chest once a week, fine. Not fine, actually, because you're doing 20 sets and you're just going to be fucked by the time you get here. Now, if we did chest twice a week, you could then go, okay, I've got, let's say it's 2 upper, 2 upper, 2 lower. You're hitting chest twice in that week. You could do 1, 2, 3. No, what? I'm just going to not do that. I'm going to just erase this. If you now do chest twice a week, that means you've got 10 sets and 10 sets. 10 good quality sets, and then on the second day, 10 good quality sets. You're still getting the same volume across the week, but they're better quality sets because you're recovering in between. If you're doing 3 times a week, if you're doing 3 times full body, you might not have 20 sets. Let's say you've got 3 times and you've got 15 sets, you might have 5, 5, 5. So now all of a sudden, your chest sessions, your chest movements, you've got 5 good sets, 5 good sets, 5 good sets. So if I give you more volume, when you're dieting down, you're not going to recover from this. So the reason that it's split up, we're still getting the same volume across the week. It's just not all in one go. So you're going to recover. And also, you can train things more than once a week. Your body will be okay and recover enough for you to be able to train it at least twice a week. When I tore my rotator cuff, I trained leg 3 times a week and I fucking hated it. And I was doing 1 or 2 sets on everything. Because if I was doing 15 sets 3 times a week, I would not be able to walk. I'd be in a wheelchair and I'd probably be injured because I wouldn't be able to recover from it. So not only is it from a recovery standpoint, it's also from an injury prevention standpoint as well. So if you are dieting down, we want to make sure that we're doing the minimum effective dose to get the most out of it. And recovery and sessions that you can recover from is paramount, because if you're dieting and you're doing so much volume, you're just going to get injured. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully this is recorded all right. Hopefully this has not been mirrored and it's not backwards and you enjoyed it. I had a lot of caffeine today, so yeah. Hope that was useful. Let me know in a bit.